But when they say you should attain selflessness, what do they mean? Well, that is the nature of Parabrahman, Paramatman also, universal self. What is meant by that, dear friends, is the vanishing of all personality. And we will come to that term personality. It comes from persona, Latin, mask, the mask. What is Paramatman? Well, this is a compound Sanskrit. It means or points towards the highest supreme self. Para means beyond the world of manifestation. And this is why Brahman cannot be, or this is why Tat, when they mean Brahman, the Brahmin is of course not the highest. Buddha says you must even detach yourself from that. But of course, if you are one with Brahman, you have great bliss. You are in power of the entire universe, so to speak. But still, you have not reached the highest. For me, dear friends, limited as I am, I had always the urge to reach the highest. In the world, well, I reached a lot in the world. Every German knows me. I sell millions of records. Today, not anymore so much than before, because they are all, this is the age of CDs and of a technique that permits that once a record is out, you can, copy it without paying anything, and so. But many hits, lots of fame. When I sing, 3,000 people come, 4,000, 20,000. Go to YouTube, you will see us. You think it makes me happy? That alone would never make me happy, believe me. Because I thought that the highest is in the world, and fame, and in all the pleasure of the senses. I dive deep into it. Glory to the Book of Light and the Ma Chohan, tear me out of that dirt. And yet I have to struggle each day, and I do it. Now, what is somebody who has reached the high state? Now, this is a state of bodhi. And such a human can be called Buddha. And he manifests into a spiritual organ, you could say, called buddhi. This all comes from a Sanskrit root. It means just awaken. Now, to what have you awakened? To the truth that yourself is not here, but where you came from. To the truth that what you really are cannot be found here, but you can be it in detaching from the attachment to earth, heaven, and hell. Yes, we go as high as heaven. Yes, we say in the Book of Light, even heaven is not eternal. Dear Christians, dear Muslims, don't think that heaven is eternal. Your own scriptures reveal it to you. You can find it, quote it for Quran and Bible in the Book of Light. So awake from the living dead, dear friend. And then you are a Buddha. You will not awake, dear radical Muslims, when you shoot the Buddha statues, because then you just shoot the ability of learning more. And you increase your ignorance. Now, when we are in nirvana, are we absorbed? Vedanta teaches that. But we say no. Or some Vedanta could be understood as if you are absorbed. You cannot be absorbed. You can become one with something. You don't lose your individuality in that state beyond the world, beyond the transient world. You don't lose it. You don't lose it. And this is the glorious, this is the peace. And this is the so-called eternal peace they teach in the Bible. Now, let's go from these Indian teachings to the Book of Light again. I just mentioned it because The Book of Light unites also all these teachings and unites their different occult approaches, you could say. Let's get back to the Secret Doctrine. What was that? What is that Secret Doctrine? It was given to Blavatsky by the masters. And it was given then what the masters were permitted, or let's say permitted themselves to give. The great Chauhan gave to me the Book of Light. And so, the Book of Light, or rather the Secret Doctrine, is until today not understood by most. You can see that already in the Krishnamurti crisis or in the Synod crisis and so forth. See, they didn't study the Secret Doctrine. They wanted the Christ, they wanted the Guru. They took Krishnamurti, a boy from the beach in India. But he was clever and smart. After a while he said, bye-bye, Guru, I'm not your Guru. You look for another one. You cannot put that shoe on me. That's what we in German say. Okay. And so he left them. See? Those people did not understand that the teaching is the Guru. I'm not a Guru. You know, the Mahachohan is a Guru. But he would never say that. So he passes on the teaching to us. That's what he does. So the teaching is the Guru. This is the Guru. You cannot blemish it. It is perfect. You find an imperfect thing in the teaching, you tell me. You can measure it on that. And even if you want to understand the Secret Doctrine, you need the Book of Light. And you will see it is a prolongation of the Secret Doctrine. It's the Book of Light. It's the final unveiling, because Blavatsky did not write Isis Unveiled. The title was Isis Veiled. And the publisher changed it because of some reasons of rights and so forth, you know. But, I mean, there's a completely different title and different meaning. I don't even understand how Blavatsky permitted that, but she must have had her reasons. And that was maybe also the reason why she wrote the Secret Doctrine, which for itself is, of course, a step higher than Isis Unveiled. The Book of Light is Secret Doctrine Unveiled, you could say. Now there were greater mysteries and so forth, and they all are explained in the Book of Light. But they all are explained also in the Secret Doctrine. Since Blavatsky used the different languages, she almost purposely wrote it as if it is not written for many. This is why the Book of Light is so important, and why also great souls like Mahatera, Dr. Georg Grimm, and Gottfried de Purucker did a great work in explaining Secret Doctrine. Secret Doctrine teaches that exoteric religions, as we have them now, are formed, or the basis of them were the myths of ancient times. And it doesn't mean, the Book of Light says, what is taught exoterically is not wrong per se. You know, not false. But it has not the key in it. It is the outer husk, the outer shell of, it is a door without a key. So to speak, you have to enter the room. Book of Light is the key, you can open the door, you're in it. It's a symbolic teaching of those exoteric religions. It's illusory, it is near to the truth. But you don't have the key to it. You stand before the closed room. In the room is a treasure, you know, and but you lack the key. Now that key is the Book of Light. Book of Light teaches that man springs forth from the ineffable. How did that happen? What was the procedure? Now, first of all, the infinite, the impersonal, never becomes finite or personal, how then did everything happen? Now we have to dive deep into it. One of the words would be reflection. You see, the monad, this is the teaching of the Book of Light, enters in this realms, not itself. It remains on the second level, for now I say that, in total bliss. But it has to have experience of the lower realms by parting on the bliss to them, if you may say though. And so it reflects, puts a reflection of itself into the lower realms. So open yourself up and you become pure bliss. But that happens not by enjoying worldly things. The monad follows hesitatingly for some years, maybe for an entire life into that realm. Then it sees, oh, it's not there, and it withdraws. And the residue will reincarnate again, leading up to soulless people and so forth. We talk about that. How did we come into being? Manifestation of worlds, of beings. Now, Book of Light teaches it takes place in the extension of matter called space. First of all, don't think of the universe at reawakening, as we will talk about this, filling up space at a so-called Big Bang. That's not true. This is not what happens. What happens is just a change of situation in the universe. See? I give that as a hint for now. There's no empty space. Space is timeless, eternal. See? It is an interacting between powers who are uncreated. And then this is there and arises. And in this process, we, of course, now, since we are limited by three senses, we think, oh, I filled tea in a cup. Oh, that's how the universe, yeah. And scientists even think so. That's not what happens. It's not what happens. You see, because something that is localized or that is filled cannot be infinite, cannot be eternal. Because if you say that's a universe, is like a something that is filled up, well, what then is beyond it? It's like a room to be filled up. What is beyond the room? No, that's not how it is. That's not how it is. And we see we must keep our mind now open to be able to understand and grasp what the Book of Light means when the universe awakens. And then we will understand that there's only one being in the universe. One. And the entire solar systems, visible, invisible, galaxies, whatever, are atoms and molecules of its body, and this is the so-called body of Christ. We call it Adam Kadmon. So we know the eternal, the ineffable, the infinite does not manifest at all, neither partially nor together. Now let's dig deep. How did we arise in manifestation? Dear friends, there are seeds of life remaining in space from the former period of manifestation, the Manvantara. And when everything disappears again and passes into latency or Prakriti Pralaya, we say, and when the hour comes again to manifest, which was in our case 150 trillion years ago, then these seeds of life, they have stored in themselves, like a computer, trishna, thirst, desire for manifestation. Dear friends, when you die, and I explained that to you when I was sitting in the hospice, in the beds of the dying. They said, I don't want to die. I say, then you will come back.